The allure of AI automation has been tantalizing, hasn't it? Promise after promise of increased efficiency, productivity, and accuracy. But let's be honest, how many times have we seen those promises come crashing down around us? We've all heard the hype about machine learning algorithms and neural networks that can learn from data like never before. But what happens when faced with real-world complexity? Do these tools actually deliver? Or do they fail to deliver in a way that's both predictable and infuriating? Let's take a closer look at some of the most popular AI automation tools out there. I'm talking about the ones that claim to revolutionize our workflows, streamline our processes, and make us more efficient than ever before. Take, for example, the use of natural language processing (NLP) in customer service chatbots. The idea is simple. Provide a 24/7 support system that can answer customer queries with unprecedented accuracy and speed. Sounds great, right? But how many times have you interacted with a chatbot that just doesn't get it? That responds to your question with something completely irrelevant or, worse still, ignores the query altogether. This is where human judgment comes in. A circumflex euros, an aspect of critical thinking that AI tools often ignore. They may be able to process vast amounts of data, but they can't replicate the nuance and subtlety of human interaction. Take, for instance, the use of machine learning algorithms in data analysis. These tools claim to be able to identify patterns and trends that would be impossible for humans to detect on their own. But what happens when those patterns are based on flawed or incomplete data? Do we really want to trust our business decisions to a system that's only as good as the data it's trained on? The problem is these tools often rely too heavily on assumptions and simplifications. They fail to account for the messy, unpredictable nature of real-world complexity. And when they do, well, let's just say I've seen my fair share of failed experiments. I recall one particular instance where I tried to automate a tedious data entry process using machine learning algorithms. Sounds simple enough, right? But what happened was that the algorithm started producing incorrect results due to the presence of noise in the dataset. The more we tried to fine-tune it, the worse it got. We ended up spending more time debugging the system than actually getting work done. So, what's behind this phenomenon? Why do AI automation tools seem to fail us so spectacularly? In my opinion, it all comes down to a fundamental misunderstanding of human judgment and critical thinking. These tools often prioritize speed and efficiency over accuracy and nuance. They're based on the assumption that complexity can be reduced to simple algorithms and data analysis. But here's the thing. Real-world complexity cannot be reduced to simplistic formulas and rules. It's messy, unpredictable, and always changing. And when we rely too heavily on AI automation tools without acknowledging this, we risk creating systems that fail us when it matters most. So, what can we do instead? How can we harness the power of AI automation while avoiding its pitfalls? For starters, we need to recognize the limits of these tools. We need to be aware of their biases and assumptions, as well as their limitations in handling complex or uncertain situations. And we need to take steps to mitigate those risks. One strategy is to use AI automation tools in conjunction with human judgment and critical thinking. This means using machine learning algorithms to augment our decision-making processes rather than replacing them entirely. Another approach is to focus on developing more nuanced and contextual understanding of the problems we're trying to solve. This might involve incorporating more subjective data, such as qualitative feedback or expert opinions, into our systems. Ultimately, the key is to acknowledge the importance of human judgment and critical thinking in the face of AI automation tools. We need to be cautious about relying too heavily on these tools and instead focus on developing a hybrid approach that leverages the strengths of both humans and machines. So, what's my final verdict? Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. AI automation tools are still largely overrated. They're often touted as silver bullets for our productivity woes, but in reality, they're more like Swiss Army knives, a circumflex euros useful in specific contexts, but ultimately limited by their own design. That being said, there's no denying the potential of these tools. When used judiciously and with a critical eye, AI automation can be a powerful ally in our quest for efficiency and productivity. So, if you're considering using AI automation tools to streamline your workflow or improve your decision-making processes, here's my recommendation. Take a step back, assess the risks and benefits, and carefully consider the limitations of these tools. Don't assume that AI automation is going to solve all your problems, a circumflex euros. Instead, focus on developing a hybrid approach that leverages the strengths of both humans and machines. With caution, critical thinking, and a healthy dose of skepticism, we can unlock the true potential of AI automation and avoid its pitfalls. It's time to acknowledge the limits of these tools and start building systems that truly work for us, a circumflex euros, not just for the sake of convenience or efficiency, but because they're designed with our best interests at heart.